Hey everyone, my name is Nita Zeta and I'm Director of Partnerships at Sidewalker Daily. Sidewalker Daily, we work on both sides of the influencer equation. We work with tourism boards and travel brands and hotels and all, on the brand side to work with, their influencer campaign and marketing. But then on the other hand, we've built this community on Instagram, Sidewalker Daily, where we also work with travel bloggers and influencers and support them on the business side. So I'm in a very interesting space, right? I'm like, our agency is on both sides of the equation, and we really understand the needs of both parties. I think that kind of sets me and our agency apart is because we really know how to facilitate win-win partnerships because we know what the clients want and we know what the influencers want and we know how to treat everyone in this crazy new world that we're all in. Today's video is a topic that I can eat, breathe, and sleep, and it's how to create successful influencer campaigns. This video, I think, can speak to those on the brand side that are looking to work with influencers, but it can also work and help. It can also serve travel bloggers and travel influencers to give you guys a sneak peek on the brand side, like what we look for when we set up these campaigns. Because again, knowledge is power, and the more that you guys know on how we set up campaigns, the more you guys can figure out the value that you add to starting your own influencer marketing campaign is to create your goals and objectives. Now that may sound quite obvious, but a lot of people I know want to work with influencers and they want to work with travel bloggers, but they don't really know how. If your goal is brand awareness, or if your goal is creating content like reusable assets, tons of photos to repost on your social, you're going to have very different pieces of the pie that help you support those goals. So whatever goal it is that you're creating, if it's, if it's sales, there's probably going to be more, incentives for your buyers to purchase them, like maybe a flash sale or discount marketing or promotions of that nature. So really identifying your goals and being able to say, okay, this is what I want will help you with all the other pieces that come next. So once you know your goals, the second step is to partner with influencers or content creators that can help you reach these goals. What we like to do is we often scour the internet, Instagram, our personal database. We reach out to others in the industry to ask them, these are our goals with a certain campaign. Let's just say brand awareness. If we're working with a tourism board, that we want to insert this country into relevant media conversation, right? That's kind of like a PR term, but the whole goal is to insert the destination into conversation, and maybe, a secondary goal can be to, like I said, create content. Other goals, just so that can be like to maybe grow a following or grow your quality subscribers, so like email lists. But for this example, we're going to say, let's just say we're talking about a destination. And if you're working to find influencers that can help you now communicate those messages, you're going to choose influencers based on what you think, their skill set is. How can this skill set serve you better? So if you're looking to maybe work with someone who can create amazing content for you, right? So like beautiful images for you to reuse on your social, then maybe something like follower count isn't so important. It's someone who has a really good eye and is really good at, capturing a destination in the way that it needs to be. Maybe that's like the unique hook. So you may not have to worry about having crazy followers because that's not the goal of your campaign. Vice versa, if your goal is just, number driven, that's it, you don't really care about the content created, then you may want to work with someone that has, more of a bigger me following, but it's less narrow. This can also help you choose whether you're looking for a micro influencer or, maybe a bigger power middle influencer, like a celebrity influencer. The celebrity influencers, they have more reach, but it's not always the reach that you want. They may have these big mass numbers, but are they numbers that are going to convert for you? And that's why oftentimes people like to work with micro influencers, because their numbers may be smaller, but also super dedicated. If you know that your goal, let's just say for a destination, is to drive tourism from a target, a feeder market. So let's just say Miami has direct flights to your destination, then maybe working with a Miami local blogger is a better fit for your campaign than working with someone who has insane followers but is based in Bali, right? And she's based in Bali, but you don't need audience from, that's global. You need people from Miami to book flights to go to your hotel in Guatemala. So the point is again, that's why step one of discovering your goals is so important, because it's going to help you find the talent, the influencer, the blogger, content creator to help you get there. The third tip or the third process, that a step in creating a successful influencer campaign for me is, to trust the influencer or content creator to deliver and give them creative freedom and control. So this is like part of us, because we work with so many influencers. We know they don't want copy and pasted messages that they need to post on their social. They know their audience. They know what works for their page. So as a brand, it's your job to communicate your key messages, to have, communicate your needs, to communicate what it is that you're trying to portray to the media, but let them do their job. I mean, these people on the content creator side, they are creative as hell, and they can make things look really good. You just have to trust them. You have to understand, working with influencers is not like working with a spokesperson that you can just give them a script. While many influencers do take the script for a high, price, a lot of them are just better at, it doesn't feel as authentic. I mean, a lot of them are just better at creating it on their own. So educate them. If it's a trip, have a welcome packet. Talk to them about your key messages. Talk to them about what it is that you're looking to vibe, and then let them make the magic. And I will tell you, the more creative freedom you give people, obviously within boundaries, the better they're going to perform for you, and the more they're going to over deliver. If you're a brand that comes in and is like super strict and super tight and just trying to control them, they're not going to want to work for you, and you're kind of clipping that creative freedom in that process. So it needs to feel good for both parties. The fourth part of a successful influencer campaign is what I like to say: prepare for effective execution. So now everything's been done, the content's been created. It's your job on the brand side to be available for questions, comments, to help roll out the campaign, to be, in that you have to be ready now. And you have to make sure that once you're ready to press go and the campaign's ready to roll out, that you're actually there to be a part of that process once it goes live. And the last step to creating an influencer campaign is to make sure that you're monitoring so that you can build out that kick-ass report that's going to help show ROI on the campaign. Now, monitoring is the most important part for me. That's kind of like where I am like super on it. I want to make sure every single story that was taken during this campaign, I have a downloaded version of it that I download myself, and I have the analytics. I want to clip as much information as possible, especially when I do group trips. It's really important to measure everything from, saves to swipe ups to how many times the sticker tags, all these analytics on the back end. Because once you put everything together, it really shows that 360 approach to your campaign. It lets you see everything, not just what you see on the front, but the back end analytics. Now, of course, there's tons of other little portions of creating an influencer campaign, like deciding your budget, making sure, you keep diversity at the forefront, and that you work with influencers that are diverse in background. There's so many other little elements. These just 5 points for us are kind of like our guiding principles on how we run our campaigns and how we decide how we're going to work with people based on the goals that the client has given us. I hope you guys find this video useful. If you are on the brand side or on the influencer side, I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.